Warning! This podcast contains amazing content
and strong language.
That is insane.
So
good. You never know who you help in the street, you know,
always help old men out, guys.
Maybe not us, but you guys definitely, yeah. Jenkins.
And I'm Juliana Hopkins.
And you're listening to Back Catalogues.
Today we have on Rival Karma. How are you guys?
Very well. Good to see you.
Gucci.
So tell us your names and your roles in the band.
Okay, I'm PJ. Well, one of my many names. I'm PJ and I play the drums and I make a lot of noise. Whatever.
And you dabble in BBs.
I dabble in BBs, yeah.
The good stuff.
And I'm Martin, and I play guitar and do some singing as well.
Nice.
Very nice.
The main singing.
Yeah, I do main vocals.
Nah, yeah, that's a shared job. It's a shared job as a duo. You just have to split it all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. We're very much a one man, two man band. So
yeah, we have a mission for the next tour. We want to do a song where Martin starts playing the drums and I play the guitar.
Yeah. We're
so
gonna.
That's how good.
The old
I was gonna say that. We'll have the turntables of turntables.
Yeah. You know it.
Exactly.
So, what got each of you into music?
Holy cow, that's a question.
We go back a long time.
You start.
we are in our 30s. I think parents were very musical. They're very musical people. So they
yours,
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Okay. My parents are very musical people, and then I had a lot of drums and percussion laying around in the house, and I was studying to become a chef, and I started to become a chef until I decided that I didn't want to be a chef, which is a great job, by the way, but it wasn't for me. And so I picked up the drums, and I had typical, my two best friends were musicians as well. We started playing together, and that eventually became my job. Then I met Martin, and we decided to create something that we liked. So we started this band a few years back in 2015, which is, I mean, there's many years in between me picking up the drumsticks the first day and becoming a band.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a few words, that's what happened. So I think definitely parents convinced me that music was a good path.
That's interesting. You usually don't, well, not that you usually don't hear that, but like a lot of parents are always like, oh, music might not be the one for you, and it might not be able to be sufficient, and fund yourself. Sure, we've all had that at some point. That's nice to hear.
Yeah. Definitely.
Martin, what about
you? Oh, me. Yeah, I mean, my dad always listened to kind of the classics and stuff. Like he always had some, I was raised in the US in the 90s. So I was like, there was a lot of music going around. And so from a very early age, I remember buying, the Black Album from Metallica, Dave Matthews Band, like all these, I remember like saving up pocket money and going to the record store and going to, and being like, oh, this is the one I want. And so I don't know, I was very lucky in that sense. I got to kind of discover music the way that I really wish, like my little brother had, for example, who's much younger. And that stuck with me. Then I studied in a completely different field in finance as well. And eventually I came to London to do a master in financial engineering, which
that sounds like a big change. What?
Yeah, it was. And then I ended up just saying, you know what, I don't see myself doing this, for my life. And basically. And I studied finance in Paris, in Dauphine, which is a university in Paris. And then I came here, and then I just stopped everything, did a couple auditions, went to ICMP for a year, higher diploma, and then I met some guys. We started a 4-piece. PJ was the original drummer of the 4-piece as well. That lasted for a year and a half, 2 years.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried. And then we shot and buried 2 of the guys and started the duo.
Nice. I
Nice.
like your honesty. Ooh.
Yeah.
Juicy
Exactly.
gossip.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you really scream, you were like a 4-piece still.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. That was the 4-piece formation. So you can hear there's like a second guitarist who plays like a Les Paul and Scream. So it's a bit of a rounder sound. And then we had a wicked bassist, Vasilis, who really grooved. And actually, when he left the band, was one of the first ones to leave the band. That really was the thing that kind of triggered a solid change, because he had such a strong sound.
We just worked with each other.
Yeah.
Not in terms of people, because we were very different from
Yeah.
each other, all of us.
Yeah.
But I think the music worked because each of us had an individual skill that the other person didn't have.
Yeah.
So we kind of and when we wrote Scream, I don't know, like music was just coming together, and that was the beginning of us starting writing as something a little bit heavier as well, because before that we were doing we had different influences and yeah, Scream was just the new beginning of something that we wanted to happen, but it wasn't just happening. And then from there to become what we are now.
Yeah, and then we had a bit of it's actually a funny story. The guys left, and then we had an entire summer of like smaller festivals booked, and a little tour booked as well in Italy, and the guys left, and we had to cancel most of the electric festivals and everything. But we said, okay, I think they left in June, and then we said, okay, but the target in October, we want to be up and running to honor this Italian tour.
Yeah.
And we started rehearsing just the 2 of us, and literally a set just like vomited out of us. We just were so inspired just to work just the 2 of us, and then we were like, we could probably pull this off. And so we just went out and did the two of us dates on tour. And we were like, it was like starting in a brand new musical experience. Because the music was different. I didn't know how to play without a bassist. It was my first time. Martin had to improvise himself as a lead guitarist. Oh yeah, I had never played lead before.
So it was just a complete I remember I was just
we were shitting ourselves too. Like, our first gig, do you remember our first gig we arrived in? It was in Switzerland, wasn't it? Oh no, we had a gig in Paris, and the first gig was in Paris, and all my mates are from Paris, from university. So it was really cool. They came out to see us, but we had a technical problem within like 4 minutes of the start of the set.
Oh, no.
This was our first official electric set together, and we were like, oh god, this is bad. But we pulled through. It ended up going really well. And then but it was my friend, so it wasn't really like, it was a test, but it wasn't like, we weren't like scared, And then we arrived in Switzerland, and these guys thought we were the fucking Rolling Stones. I don't know what got lost in translation, but we had like a vegan meals, 2 fridges full of beers, a hotel, a changing room, and we were just like,
we had a pass to a rave party as well. Because to a rave party,
they took us to a rave party, and it was called. Do you remember the style of music? It was called. I had never heard the style of music. It's called Goa, and that was it. It was a Goa party, and we got in, and it was like
trance music, kind of. Very lots of colors, people, a lot of makeup, costumes.
Yeah,
it was a sick party. But yeah, that
just sounds like a fun night.
That sounds like good fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it turns out that we had to get up at like 7 the next day to roll to the next date. So we didn't go crazy all out. But that was like the first official travel date of our tour. We were like, oh my god, this is the best life ever. Like we were like,
anyway,
like,
I was gonna say, like, did it just go downhill slowly after that?
Totally tailed.
We still sleep on the floor occasionally.
Yeah. We still have bunk tours, but no, it was that's how it started, really. It started off a tour that we had to honor, and we decided to honor it as a duo, and we never looked back since, really.
That's cool. The duo sounds really works. It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Now playing Apocalypse Boogie by Rival Karma.
call
rest
the
is history.
genre of music you create, you call it ninja rock, right? So
Yeah.
how did you come up with this genre and what defines it exactly?
It's oh my gosh, I mean it kind of came out of a joke one day.
Yeah.
And it was, we just kept having these interviews with people that were saying like, so like what, like how do you define your like, you know, like what, like, and we were just like, okay, but what do you stand for? And we're it was this guy, right? It was
What does it stand for? What is
it was like,
stand for?
what do you guys stand for?
It was
you
actually
know?
a guy in Universal Records.
Yeah, or Decca Records.
Decca Records.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, what do you guys stand, you know, but like, what do you guys stand for? And we were just like, oh man, I don't fucking know, like, you know, we were just like, what,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we just looked at each other. We're just like, yeah, we do
ninja rock. And the guy was like, oh, tell me more, that's so cool.
Basically, the whole interview, the guy didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
he was just like,
we talked
okay.
for like an hour, and the guy was just like, oh yeah, okay. And then we said ninja rock as a bit of a spoof thing, and he was like, oh my god, tell me more, like what is this about?
New,
so
like the movement.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, we also helped us create a story behind the band. He helped us with the first EP.
Yeah, we called it Are You Ninja?
You know,
and
we
also
call our
like
friends, our fans are ninjas and ninjas.
Yeah, ninjas
So-
and ninjets. And
Has
Yeah,
anyone
I
ever
love it.
has anyone ever dressed up as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for your show? Has there been a few?
oh my god, I have so
That would
many
be the
pictures.
dream.
I have so many pictures of like my friends' kids or cousins and stuff who've got like little babies, and they send them like in like full ninja
Oh, that's so
full ninja outfits dancing to Apocalypse Boogie. It's great. But no, we haven't had
The Ninja Turtles.
we haven't had the Ninja Turtles at a gig yet.
Oh, we
That would
might
be
do
awesome.
that then.
We should do that then.
Yeah.
We'll get back-to-back costumes, but with Rival Karma on it too.
Mhm.
We'll both
Wicked.
Boiler suits
yeah.
to match.
I
you
want
guys.
some of your boiler suits. I love the boiler
Mhm.
suits you wear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should see the new.
You should see the new ones.
The updates.
We updated
the
them.
upgrades. Sorry.
Yeah, so now PJ and I have spirit animals, and so PJ is a baboon and I'm a tiger, and we patched these two giant baboon and tiger patches on our backs, on the backs of our boiler
That's
suits.
Nice.
That looks really
Wow.
cool.
Love 'em.
We love them.
You can really feel the spirit animal when.
Oh, yeah.
When I play, I feel like a monkey now for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I feel like
It's
this.
crazy.
I feel like a
Just a
shadowy
part of
tiger.
you now.
Yeah, exactly.
it.
No, but definitely. I mean, just going back to the ninja thing is sometimes, you know, when we get interviewed, I still sometimes I'm just like, are we gonna tell him or we're not gonna tell him? But it actually, I don't know, it really helped us, as I said, identify ourselves a little bit.
Mhm.
And it's for me, it's easier to say we do ninja rock than say we do stoner rock.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah, or
blues,
like blues rock
because
or whatever.
we don't necessarily do that kind of music. We get inspired by it. We get inspired from that. But it's such a melting pot of different things.
Yeah, I think it came from the whole notion that we weren't one specific genre,
Yeah.
so inside the rock genre, and so we were just like, well, let's just make our own thing, you know,
yeah.
and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, instead of having to say we're a mix of that genre and that
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gets
Because also
Okay.
they cannot say anything to it. You know, you do ninja rock. Respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, oh,
Okay,
Right.
full
It's like-
stop.
But
Yeah.
if you say I play blues and people be like, oh,
but
he's
it's
such
not-
a shitty blues.
it's not
player,"
really
you know what I
blues,
mean?
is it? I
Yeah.
play stoner. Oh, but is it really stoner? I
Yeah.
play like, oh yeah, but isn't it like neo wave synth pop stoner rather?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
So
off.
we are, yeah, we are amazing at ninja rock.
Yeah.
We are really, really good.
We're the
at
best
ninja
band in the
rock,
world
you
at Ninja
can't
Rock,
say.
guys.
It's my new favorite genre.
You're too high for no competitions. I just love it.
That's it.
That's how you do it. You just wipe out the rest. It's great, dumb.
That is amazing. So what was the writing and recording process like for your 4-track EP?
Writing was I think I'm very lucky. I have my family has a house in the country in France, and it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, like actually in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
And I think what we did is we had a couple of jams that we liked, and we went out there as a bit of a retreat and to try and jam and get together and really jam out what was going to be the first official release as the duo. And we did that for about a week, and I think that's where most of the tracks came out. Really, we just
It just came to life.
yeah,
really.
they came to life there. They became songs rather than jams.
Mm.
We did a lot of listening, a lot of research on just how duos work, the dynamics, and also other bands. Like, we took duos as an example to be inspired, but it wasn't the only inspiration.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Again, we got lucky because we listened to pretty much the same kind of music.
Yeah.
And we grew up listening to the same kind of music. So a lot of references were there when we
knew.
decided
Yeah,
to,
totally.
So, but in terms of music, I think everything came to life pretty much in Montreuil.
Yeah, in that week.
Where
Yeah.
From. And then lyrics as well, pretty much. We had just a few things that a few touch-ups on lyrics, but the core of the lyrics.
That's true. Yeah.
Started over there.
Yeah, wasting time. I had just broken up. Anyways, it was a song about a breakup, about some person who had clearly wasted my time. So it was that's what it was about.
Shots fired. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who you are.
You're listening.
Not
my friend.
Yeah. No, that was very much a knee-jerk song. Like, it's one of those songs where you like they're written and the lyrics and the intention is there already. It's really like, and then I think Apocalypse Boogie is a bit of a funny story because PJ and I were a little bit ahead of I don't know what it is, but we kind of felt it in the waters that something a bit cataclysmic was happening.
We're freaking ninjas.
We're ninjas, So, and it's crazy because now that I think back at it, like, we wrote Apocalypse Boogie about basically the last day of the world, like the last dance. And our video is actually 2 people dancing with gas masks on, and it's like, when you look at today, this morning I think it was yesterday or something, I took the tube and I saw everyone with their masks and I was like, Jesus, man, that was scary. Like, we protect the future.
We studied it.
Yeah, it's all your fucking fault.
It's just the mask trends, obviously.
Yeah,
I take the blame for it.
The
blame for it. The whole album, it was meant to be a bit of a statement for people and also for us. We needed something to convince us that the duo was possible.
Yeah.
So the songs, we didn't think too much about them.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Wrote the music, wrote the lyrics. Let's release it, see what happens.
Yeah.
Where did you record the songs?
We're at the Fish Factory.
Yeah.
So it's a studio in Dollis Hill.
Okay.
It's a little secret gem of the industry where this old Italian guy has like a vintage Neve desk that he guards with like he's just such a ledge. He's got only vintage gear, like
he guards it with one eye.
Yeah, he guards it exactly. He guards it with one eye.
He's blind in one eye.
But he's such a legend, and we recorded the EP with him there. At the time, I think he was it was just, it's an amazing place. Yeah, we like to go there because it's sort of out of its time and out of its context. When you're locked away in that studio, it's at the back end of an old fish market. And when you're locked back there, like, it's not like you're in London.
Yeah, because I mean, you couldn't imagine having that in Dollis Hill. Dollis Hill's a shithole. Like, it's a shithole. So you get lost. Actually, we went back to record the second EP.
Yeah,
which is the one
we're about to release. Yeah,
and we slept there for 4 days. Yeah, it was just amazing.
Yeah,
we
ended up sleeping in the studio,
sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was like being out of London, but in London. It was really weird.
It's like that feeling you get when you come out the cinema and you go back into the normal world and you're like, oh my god,
exactly that's exactly it.
Yeah,
I know. It's got the whole like sound proofing as well, you know. So it really is like you've just come out of the movies. You open the door, you're like, oh my gosh,
oh my god, the world is
still daytime.
Now playing Wasting Time by Rival Karma.
Girl, if you don't know, don't go waste my time. Got better things to show. This broken heart of mine. Girl, if you don't know, then why the hell are you here? You know I lose control every time that you're near. So baby, please just tell me, why don't you just let me be? Why don't
tell us a bit about your tour through Spain and the time you guys spent in America as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did a total of 2 tours in America and 1 tour in Spain. The 2 tours in the US were there. It's really,
I wasn't there.
yeah, he officially wasn't there.
Okay.
No, it was through So Far Sounds. We played a lot through So Far Sounds here in London, who were, at the way start, we were playing with them, like 2014. We played with the 4-piece, and then we kind of kept in touch with them, and played some gigs in London, and it was great to play to crowds, sold out shows and stuff. And we, out of the blue, just emailed them and were like, okay, we would like to go to the US and like tour, can we do this through you? And so they were like, well, we don't organize tours for So Far people, but but you can try and contact the city leads and see what happens. And so we had the help of a friend of ours called Alize, who was working for them at the time, and she really liked us. So she started shooting emails to everyone on the West Coast. And we just cooked up this little So Far Sounds tour going from San Diego to Seattle, all along the West Coast. And we hit up a bunch of cities on the way up, basically. So that was our first introduction with the US, and it was fantastic because
we added a couple of electric shows as well.
Yeah.
And our set, the acoustic set, was very much improvised, really.
Oh yeah, the acoustic set was so ghetto.
So Martin was already there because his folks lived there. So I arrived in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of jams just on the balcony.
Yeah, on the balcony.
And then so I didn't even have drums. I don't know. I was playing on my legs or whatever.
No, I brought you a drum kit.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. And then we started the tour. And it was so, but the beauty of it was just the fact that it was improvised.
Oh yeah, because the drum kit was like some kid in some suburb selling like this really shit DW drum kit, but like entry level, like I think it cost me $150 for the whole kit, and I was like, okay, great. And so I went there to his place, brought it back home. We ended up using like, I don't know, maybe 1 drum of the whole
floor
kit,
tom and snare,
and maybe a bit of snare. Yeah.
Martin had a
and I had a 5-watt Fender like little baby frontman amp, and I had this.
Got that amp literally behind us. You were that tiny Fender Mustang, tiny thing.
That was it, probably. Exactly. And
that was our tour.
I had an $80 Epiphone guitar that I got at a pawn shop that I modded within an inch of our life, and then we were like, all right, let's do this. And so we got my brother to come along. He filmed the whole thing, and we just went off and had gigs, really. And it was
I freaking missed the flight.
Oh yeah, you missed the flight. It started off terribly. You missed the flight.
I missed the flight to go to San Diego. That's
yeah. Oh man, that was crazy.
How the hell did you do that?
Because I went the wrong direction on the train. Yeah, I just got confused, and I went
subconsciously. He didn't want to come, He was
subconsciously he knew he was going to be playing 2 drums the whole time.
But it was so sad. I said goodbye to all my housemates, and everyone was like, "Oh, see you guys in a month," blah, blah. And then after 3 hours, they see me coming back.
Oh no!
The guys are like, "The fuck happened? You're supposed to be on the plane right now."
That must have been
we fixed it.
We fixed it. So
we got another
next day.
He got another ticket, and I think he arrived in the US for a 1-month tour with like $70 in his pocket, and that was it.
Oh shit! Because you had to get the other ticket.
Oh my god!
Yeah. We basically we emptied our savings to get. Well, you emptied your savings to get the second account. But it was epic.
It's so much fun to tell that story now.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, fucking up. I've never felt so stupid in my life. Also because we were looking forward to the tour.
Oh, we had planned this for fucking 5 months.
Yeah, like merchandise and everything.
We printed T-shirts in the US. We we were just so amped about it because it was our real first like touch the water in the US. It was the first. And also the welcome was just surreal. Like I don't know, like here, I think people have gotten a little bit used to doing So Far Sounds. And so So Far Sounds is just like, it's a cool night out kind of thing. Over there, people who go to So Far Sounds, they go because they want to hear music. So they're just so stoked about your music. And
the reception's just,
the reception was crazy. We sold out our merch within like half the tour. We had to reprint the reprint merch. We were just like,
loads of merch.
Like actually like 150 t-shirts. Like we had to reprint like 75 or 80 t-shirts, which we also sold out by the end of the tour as well.
Oh my God.
All the vinyls. It was great.
It was great.
We had people tipping us at gigs. They're just like, here's $100, so you got the fuel paid for the to get to the next city.
To get to the next city.
Honestly,
it was.
You would never get
an
that here.
Oh, definitely not.
That's fucking insane. I would love to go to America. Like absolutely love to go with music and just go and see it. Like
for music is the place.
It's and for rock particularly, they just have this kind of old school fascination for it. So they were just I don't know, they were just super welcoming, and there are so many there's so many stories on that tour. Actually, this next EP that we're releasing, we've got a song. The second song or the third song of the EP is called Jesus is from Chico. And basically it's because of the tour. We had a gig in Chico, and the guy who was welcoming at his house, his name was Jesus. And so it's a song about touring. And so we were like, we got to call it Jesus from Chico. I mean, like, it's just,
I like that name.
Me too.
That's a really cool song.
That is amazing. That's so sick. Honestly, it sounds like such an experience. And I think if you look back on the bad times, you never know, PJ, you obviously weren't meant to get on that flight, and you just have to accept that, like, there was a reason you weren't supposed to be on that one, and you were on the next one. That's what my mum always says, things all happen for a reason. There's a reason.
Gives you a good story.
Honestly, it's I forgot about that experience.
Oh yeah, it lasted 24 hours, and then we were just like,
the smile on our faces was priceless.
Oh, guys, that's so nice to hear. Honestly, that's just amazing. Sounds like it.
I mean, absolutely, and we built so many good connections, friends. So we went back last year.
We went back last year for 5 dates.
For five dates, plus we did NAMM. Plus we did the thing with Sam Brennan. Yeah. So we spent 2 weeks there, and man, honestly,
it was like, sick again.
For me, I'm not from there, and it was home.
Yeah.
Really? you kind of belong a little bit in different ways to that place.
Totally, I
have not DNA connection with that place, but it felt like home.
Yeah, they're super welcoming. Like, it was really, really great. And on the first tour, oh god, that first tour was ridiculous. We also went to Portland, and we were welcomed by the dad of a friend of ours who had like this giant
strobe light.
Do you remember strobe lights? He had like a dancing room in his house, but he was like this guy who was like 60s or 70s, and he had just this dancing room with one strobe light in his.
It's such a creepy experience.
It was so cool though. He was the sweetest guy. He brought his date to our gig. Like, he was like 75 or 70.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Guys, I mean, a So Far Sound in the US, easily you can have 150 people.
Oh yeah. We played 150, 200 people gigs, like sold out, and people were just so chuffed about it.
We had one in Orange County. It was in this huge art gallery. Yeah. Is insane.
There's so many people, and then we went to Seattle, and Seattle, I think, was like the culmination of the tour. It was our last date of the tour.
I feel like we're Nirvana.
It was crazy. The gig was in the basement of a hostel, okay? And it was supposed to be like acoustic because it's So Far Sound, but no one knew that we were arriving and rocking the shit out of people, and so we arrived in this basement of a hostel in Seattle, and these two amazing acts started, and then we were on last. And
wait, bear in mind, Seattle is, for us, is like it's the place where
it's like
90% of the music we listen to
is from there.
Started.
Yeah.
So there was already
this kind of
weird feeling. As soon as we touched that ground,
it was like wow, this is the Holy Land.
Why Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, Jimi
like
Hendrix.
palpable excitement because you're walking on the streets that they walked on, and you're like seeing the things that they would have seen. And I think
you feel why there's this inspiration as well. It's like the city is, I don't know, it's so weird. There's something in the waters. It's very dark, so we got to this basement, and we just hit the first massive chord, like coming out of this tiny baby amp, and everyone just got up, and we just fucking ripped the place apart, and we still have videos, and it was like this
Oh
is
my
surreal. And we stayed there for a day. We dropped a little EP at KEXP station in Seattle, and hoping to get, you know, some
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, on Valentine's Day, that's true. And then we drove down from Seattle to San Diego in one go.
Okay.
Which sounds like nothing, but in American
nothing.
words, it's 24 hours.
It's 24
drive.
hours of driving nonstop.
Oh, shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Were you both
Because
driving, or was anyone?
There's 3 of us driving.
Oh, three.
Three
Okay.
of us driving.
Yeah, taking turns. Thank
Yeah.
fuck. I'd love to do
Yeah,
that.
but you-
Like just go through America and drive.
It was so brutal.
Guys, we just want to tell you, if you want to do a podcast on our tour, because this might take 2-3 hours. We're so stoked.
Yeah.
We haven't even spoken about Spain yet. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
You know,
Anyways.
I mean, we love
Yeah.
and do you know, that's the thing about being 2 people on tour. It's a different energy. It's not, you can't be a rival. You can be annoyed at each other because when it used to be 4 of us, man, honestly, in the car, sometimes there was so much tension and we kind of liked each other, but just, you know, like 4 people, 4 different minds, 4 different
Mhm.
A little
background
thing
ages.
to set it off as well. Like I'm sure you just
Man, it
get
can be a
off
shit
tight
show.
off
This
them.
guy, this guy's been on his phone for 15 hours. We drove from London to Rome, and the guy didn't say a word because it was on his phone with his virtual girlfriend at the time. So it was just weird, you know what I mean? Whereas this cannot happen in us too.
When there's 2 of you, that's impossible. You can't
No,
do that,
it's not
you know,
fair
because-
to do that. Like you can't sit on your phone when there's
It's fine.
It's fine. You
If
can
there's,
do it.
if there's 4 people and that's your thing, you got to do it. Fair, you know, whatever, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone, each to their own. But when there's 2 people, you just can't because
Yeah, you're
like, or
pilot
else-
and co-pilot. You can't do that.
We were
Yeah,
talking this
that's
on the
it.
other podcast. Like, honestly, I can't drive, but when I was on tour at the base co-pilot, like, if we stop at McDonald's, I will feed you chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'll roll the cigarettes,
know.
I'll play the music, everything will be on.
Oh yeah.
Air conditioning, the tunes, all on co-pilot. The driver
So
just has to
important.
drive. That is
So
that's the rules. That's the
That's
rules.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a real thing.
And the music, the DJ in the car.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
drives, one's the DJ. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, it was-
You can shout out the song requests, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
it was really good. The US was really mind-opening, and then we went back again last year. Then we got introduced to Nam, to Soundbrenner, to some slightly higher profile, you know, situations and stuff. And we were at the Fender party at Nam, which was nuts. We saw like, you know, I can't remember. There was like Pino Palladino on fucking bass, and like
honestly,
the drummer from Stevie Ray from Double Trouble was playing like 6 meters away from us, and we were like, what?
we had a glass of wine with a guy from Snarky Puppy.
Yeah.
Backstage.
Oh yeah,
It
we were
was
talking
just-
with LeCherry.
it
Oh my
was
god, it
so
was
sick.
so
No,
cool.
honestly, it was just like we woke up next day. We're like, what the fuck
just
happened last night,
yeah,
man?
yeah.
Honestly, we met all our, you know,
stars we loved. you
now
know?
these people are Instagram stars, but they're actually amazing musicians, and they're very, they're inspiring. and
Yeah,
great-
it was
people.
great. And then we came home on the on the 5th Feb or something, and then we fucked off to Spain for a 14-date tour as well.
Oh my God.
And then we got
13 days.
COVID.
And then we got COVID, both of us. Yeah, so.
Oh no.
But Spain was sick. Spain is a totally underrated rock and roll country. Honestly, like no one talks about it, but it's like we had so much fun. Like, and the food and the people and
People are amazing.
people are amazing. Like we had our first gig was in Bilbao in this like tiny little venue, and it was rammed, like legit rammed. Like there were 2 stories, and there were people at the balcony going like, yeah, and we were just like,
Nice.
what? Like it wasn't even the center of Bilbao, and Bilbao is already it's big, but it's not a big city, you know what I mean, by like international means. But then we were outside of Bilbao, and this place was just popping. We were like, whoa, cool.
That is cool.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, and in Spain, everyone likes to party late and like.
Oh yeah.
Late culture.
It's
Eat
cool, I
late,
like
party
it.
late, drink late.
Mm-mm.
Very
Oh
cool.
Yeah.
Well, our set, we always have a stage invasion at the end of our set. It's part of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
instead of doing an encore, we just do a stage invasion.
Yeah.
So we jam a random song that one of our jams, and then I got a bag full of percussions, and I give each person in the room a percussion, and everyone comes on stage.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that night it was probably
nuts.
insane.
Yeah. There were people like
There were like 20 people, 30 people playing with
on
us. It
stage
was
just
amazing.
going like,
That
No,
sounds
it was-
so much
That is
fun.
insane.
I wanna see
Yeah,
that,
I
yeah.
want to come to one of your gigs. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Spain was so much fun. The country was so much fun. The people were super welcoming. I mean, don't get us wrong. We're talking to you about the best memories of tours. There are some shit ones, you know, like we played with 4 people in some gigs, you know. One night we played at this little town called Oviedo in this absurdly big venue. And there's like,
it's gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. The sound was amazing. It had just been refurbed, and there was probably 12 people in the room, like at a push.
Including the stuff.
And because the owner had kind of fucked up the promo, and it was like on a Sunday, and
yeah,
we don't really know why we got booked.
Yeah, it's a shame when you have like a beautiful venue, beautiful sound, and then you're just like, no one here to hear it. Like,
and the owner was such a nice guy. The guy was called Pablo. Or Oscar. Anyway,
Juan.
He was such a nice guy. They all welcomed us. The amazing thing about touring in Europe and mainland Europe is that really they treat you like
food is for real.
Like, food's for real.
They don't fuck around.
No,
you know?
You get a hotel. You
get food before you play.
Yeah,
because we want you to play
well.
Full.
Exactly.
It's like good performance, good food.
Yeah.
That's how they.
And then they give you food after you play as
and then you're like,
and drinks.
Yeah,
totally.
And I mean, obviously, we love England because we've been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's really hard at our level. It's really hard to get the same type of treatment.
Yeah.
Then past this level, you can ask for whatever you want.
Yeah, I think once you break that kind of glass ceiling that we're under right now, then you're okay. You know, you get people that you get catering, and they're like, and also they pay you a bit more and stuff. But right now at our level, Europe is where the fun is. Yeah. And then you come to the UK and US, and then you come to the UK and you kind of have to grind a little bit, bit again.
Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like in Europe as well, like it's so true. Like the culture over there is like you get treated like royalty.
Yeah, and I feel like they care even more if you're from somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're not English, if you're like
no, but I mean, like if you're playing, for example, in France and you're a band that's not French, then they'll care even more. I feel.
Yeah, if you're from
that's true. I mean,
we yet have to experience that. But we did a good show in Paris with a guy called Rainwolf.
Oh yeah, we opened for Rainwolf in Paris. That was fucking lunar. But that was cool.
Yeah.
So people, the fact that we were not French, probably. I mean, I wasn't on the list.
What venue
the band is not French.
La Maroquinerie.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I've not been, but
it's in like East Paris, I think.
Guys, can we just tell you a sick story about this?
Yes, go on.
Right, we wanted to check out the venue, okay? So we went in the morning.
No, I wanted to show you another venue.
Oh, you want to show me another venue? That's it.
Le Boulnois. Yeah.
Le Boulnois. That's it. So you want to show me this venue, and then we see this huge
double-decker
tour bus outside. We're like, dude, what the fuck is happening? What is this? Super excited. And then we see this old man bringing the luggage inside, and we're just, can we help you? So we helped him bring his. That was the story.
Yeah, we helped him. He was the tour. We
didn't know that.
No, he was carrying luggage, and he was bringing it to the entrance of the venue that I was trying to show PJ,
which is a big venue.
Which is actually it's a smaller venue on the side of a massive venue.
Okay.
So one is La Boule Noire and the other one is La Cigale. It's right next to each other. La Cigale is like big, like you get big acts go to La Cigale. And Boule Noire is kind of like a smaller one, right? Okay. And the guy was outloading this massive double-decker in the wrong corridor, and we were just like, "Are you sure you're playing here, man? like this is a big
that van is too big.
That's too big for this venue, bro. Are you sure?" And he's like, "No, we're playing it at La Cigale." And I was like, "Oh, dude, I don't think this is where you should unload, man. This is for this place." And it's like, "Oh, thanks, guys." And then we're like, "Can we help you?" And so we helped him. And then
so it turned out that this guy was. Do you guys know a guy called Chet Faker?
Yeah, Chet Faker. Yeah.
Chet Faker. Sorry. And so he was their tour manager. And the guy was like, "Guys, thank you so much for helping me. Tonight we're playing here. Just come and watch the show."
Yeah.
So they put us on the
guest list.
They put us on the guest list. So we just had the best spots watching and then we had our vinyl.
Yeah.
And Martin was like, "Dude, I'm just gonna
go
you
give
know,
our
I just gotta
vinyl
try.
to-
So he went backstage and I went to Chet Faker and he gave me my vinyl.
Yeah, it was sick.
It was sick.
That
It
is
was so good.
insane.
So good.
So good. You never know who you help in the street,
Yeah,
you know,
always help old men out, guys.
like maybe not
Yeah.
us, but you guys definitely, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't want to get
Where-
offended.
Old man, where are you
okay.
doing? Popsicle?
We've seen that you played a few live streamed gigs during lockdown, like online.
Yeah.
How was that experience? Like, how did you find the shift from moving to all over to online? Obviously, everybody's had a tough time during lockdown, but you guys seem to have some crazy stories from live performances. So, how have you been finding the online ones?
We were kind of forced to do it.
Yeah.
really. I mean,
yeah, like everyone.
the thing is, we got into a routine of touring and gigging.
Mhm.
And so all of a sudden we couldn't do it anymore. We were just like, dude, what the fuck? We need
What
to
do we
play.
do? Yeah. What do we
Like,
do?
because we were going crazy at home. So that's how we started doing different types of live sessions. We haven't done it in a while now.
No, we haven't done it in a while. We were saying we were going to do one before we released the EP, but yeah, I mean, how do we get in? I mean, I think we got that thing to do it at Buffalo Studio.
No, that was later.
That was later, wasn't it? Oh yeah, we did some at home at first, and because we were thinking of, yeah, at first it was heavy. I mean, you guys experimented at the first lockdown. It was like you're at home.
Crazy, yeah.
You stay at home, and we're lucky we live together. So we were like, holy shit, okay, well, let's do it. Let's organize little gigs. And so we started organizing this acoustic 3-4 song acoustic set on this little shitty Behringer desk that we have at home, and we tried to make it sound as good as possible. I think we had an iRig lying around that we managed to plug into the phone or whatever, and we just made it work, and we did a couple like that, and then we got invited to do a live session in a recording studio, and that sounded amazing. It was at Buffalo Studio, a friend of ours called JV who has a studio out there. And so we were just like, well, why don't we just do that kind of thing, but in our rehearsal studio? Because once lockdown eased off a little bit, we could go to the rehearsal studio. And so we got a desk, and we started doing, we did 1 or 2 in the rehearsal studio, and it was all right. But it's nowhere near being a gig. It's nothing like
it's a different thing. They call it
Especially
live gig.
yeah,
It's not live gig.
for a rock band, it's really night and day, like chalk and chips. It's just not the same thing at all.
It feels like playing in that venue in Spain in front of
8 people. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
that's with the difference that there's no one. It's even worse.
Yeah.
But the good thing is nowadays, especially Facebook, our fans of Facebook, they're very faithful, and there's kind of different ages. They start probably around 20, and then they go up to 60, 65.
Yeah.
So there's people that really tuned in, they connected, they commented. We had something like 300 comments on one. It was just amazing.
Yeah, people just, that's one thing that about our, that we've tried to develop as much as possible with our social media and through this lockdown, is we realized that people lacked communication during this whole lockdown period. So one of our missions was to make our social media platforms a safe place for all our fans to come and talk and chat shit, and so they do that on our lives. Sometimes we've got this running joke of one of our fans made a mistake, a typo, and called Apocalypse Boogie Alpaca Lips Boogie. So now it's like, are you guys gonna play Alpaca Lips? And we're like, yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff, like banter in our social media universe. We really we cherish that, because we know that when we open up, I can't wait for that person to come to one of our gigs. She's from Germany, actually, and go to one of our gigs in Germany and be like, play Alpaca Lips. It's gonna be sick. But
I love running joke. It's cool that you.
Well, that's so good that they're still listening and interacting, even though there's not live gigs going on.
No, I mean, we got to the point that I think we need to release new stuff, because it's also important for us to maintain that sort of relationship with our fans, with our fan base, and they're so supportive, and we
to reward that as well.
The thing that we can do for them is just to release new music.
Now playing Little Something by Rival Karma.
you so down, cause you never know. A healthy hint of sin and a velvet touch. I start to feel the shakes, my baby much. So why don't you sleep down there tonight? Though in this light I've lost my trust and appetite in you. Is there really nothing, even just a little, just a little something, just a little something, just a
Earlier, you were talking about Soundbrenner, but we saw that one of your tracks was used for one of their adverts. How did that opportunity come along?
That was
Random.
very random, actually. Yeah. It was, well, we got in touch with them. Well, PJ got in touch with them for NAMM last year. And so we had a really good relationship with them. They did some photos of us. We're on their ads. If you have a look at their ads on Soundbrenner, you'll see our ugly faces going like, oh my God, does this Soundbrenner make coffee? Like shitty jokes. And we've always had a bit of a good relationship with them. And then one day they emailed saying like, oh my God, actually our team in Germany really likes your track and they want to use Wasting Time for our advert. And we were just like, I mean, yeah, do it,
Amazing.
We got a bit of money for it, nothing crazy, but
A couple of $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, just that and that, the casual.
we bought this really expensive mic.
So next time we go out for drinks, the drinks will be on you then.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks Soundbrenner.
It was good, and I think we're at this stage. Actually, that's probably how we used at the best our time during lockdown. We tried to reach out loads of different brands, and we tried to connect to a lot of different brands, because obviously the dream is eventually to produce our music fully, 100% by ourselves. So we started getting microphones and recording gear, and that was our mission during lockdown. Okay, we can't gig, let's try and get better at something that we yet had to explore.
Yeah, totally. We were completely alien to production, really. And PJ and I both took a deep dive into it and started, so we hit up some brands to get microphones and stuff like that. And actually it all stemmed from realizing that commercial relationships actually can, benefit us somehow.
Soundbrenner was kind of the first.
Yeah, Soundbrenner was the first.
Opened,
Yeah, they were just like, yeah,
you
guys have a Soundbrenner, come and do some interviews for us. And so we thought, oh shit, why don't we just do that with a bunch of other gear? And it worked.
I think on my Instagram, I got like one of the, how like when you go through Instagram stories, you see like adverts. I seen you two for headphones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. And I screenshotted it, and I think I can't remember if I sent it to you or showed you, and I was like, look who's on my timeline. I was like, my sponsored like ads. I was like, PJ,
that thing's got something like 80,000 views, that video.
Just that video.
So all our friends keep screenshotting
us. Guys, you're on TV, and we're like,
yeah.
It was the pink boiler suits I saw first, and I was like, I recognize those.
I know these guys.
I like that style.
It's a shame that in camera the boiler suit looks white.
It does. It looks very light.
They're pink. They're actually pink.
Well, sometimes they look pink and sometimes they look white.
But they always look cool. So what music are you guys listening to at the moment? We always ask our people, like the people that come on this, we find new music.
Let's go on Spotify and see the last song.
This is what everybody does. They're like recently played.
It's such a difficult question to answer because you forget. Don't you?
I know what I'm listening to. I'm listening to an album by Grace Potter right now. So not rock and roll at all. Well, actually, she is very rock and roll.
Yeah, she is.
Produced by Eric Valentine. It's just a masterpiece from start to finish. Like every song is like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a no skip album.
I love that. Yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
No skip albums are the best.
Absolutely.
What about you, PJ?
I think I'm a little homesick. So I've been listening to a lot of Italian music lately. Yeah, I'm a little bit homesick. I think I want to go see the family, and that I'm compensated that with listening to a lot of 70s music, 70s and 80s music from Italy.
That's
which,
nice.
in my opinion, it's the best music, Italian music, that's ever came out.
And then earlier today, we were listening to Californian Soil by
Californian Soul,
London Grammar.
Yeah.
Nice, London Grammar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's nice to hear that.
Do you have any advice for bands or musicians who are just starting out?
Get a female drummer.
Do it, guys.
Specifically, specifically this female drummer, little chicken nugget.
Get good cymbals.
Yeah, get
Female drummer.
Plug the company. Plug the cymbal company.
You don't need a huge band to make good music. So do the best you can with people that you love, So if there's only 2 of you, 3 of you, just 2-3 people, it's enough, And then if you have to add more instrumentalists or other stuff, you can do it post, but just do it with people that you think you're going to get along with. Because if you already put barriers in your music, it's a nightmare.
You're dead in the waters.
You're going nowhere.
Find your creative safe space, I would say, and safe partner and safe whatever it is that where you want to go. And and then I think this is one thing that a lot of young musicians forget, or young aspiring bands forget, is that being a musician is a lifestyle. And you're going to travel, you're going to tour. It's hard. You're away from your family, you're away from your friends. Man, sometimes when you're on the 13th date and you have to lug up the stairs, your kit, your full kit, for like the 29th time in the tour, you're going to be like, oh damn, man, this isn't as easy as I thought. But it's you got to go through all the paces of the lifestyle. But I think the main thing to take away from it is embrace it, because once you embrace it and once you've come to terms with enjoying that, then nothing's going to stop you. And that's what's...
And if someone wants you to sign a contract, read it 50 times.
Call a lawyer and read it 60 times.
Musician union does it for free.
Musician union does it for free.
Just make sure that, because nowadays it can be easy to be signed, but there's a lot of stuff behind it. I'm not saying we are against labels, because
no,
if the opportunity comes along, we'll probably consider it. But there's been a few times where it sounded good, it sounded better than it was. So,
and then a giant red flag, and I was like, oh, sorry,
exactly.
We're good.
So just make sure that people don't try and F you up.
Definitely. So many sharks out there.
Always read the fine print. Definitely. I think that's important, for sure. That's a good piece of advice. We always get different advice from the people that are on here. We always ask, and it's always nice to hear.
Real people, real fellas.
No, I think
no. You're not old at all. You're not even, like, honestly, 30. Not old. You're in your 30s. Shut up.
I'm not even 52.
PJ, shut up. You're talking shit.
52 is the new 22.
It's the new 18.
Now playing Go by Rival Karma.
You guys have some gigs and possibly what you've said releases as well coming out soon. Can you tell us about them? This is a wee chance to plug yourself.
I mean, the gigs right now, we've got a tour in Spain in 2022.
Yeah, got that Camden Rock.
We've got the Camden Rocks gig in July that we're probably going to be doing. So keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing though is that we've got our second follow-up EP coming out, and the release of that should probably be either end of May or early June. We still need to find a name for it, but the first song is going to be called Honey. And yeah, we can't wait to release it because it's been a long process. Yeah, we need to release it.
We recorded the songs last year, and we every day since the day we left the studio, we're just like, okay, we're gonna release it, and then we kept pushing it back because of COVID. COVID, and how do we do it? Why is it the right time to do it? And we just got to the point that this is actually, it's been slowing us down from releasing more music. Yeah. And then we got to the point that we got like 15 songs ready to go, and we need to start from somewhere. Yeah. So I think this is our coming back.
It's our comeback from COVID.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
No, we're excited.
It's difficult because you keep thinking gigs are going to come back, so you're going to be able to play gigs to like promote the EP or the releases, and then the gigs get pushed back. So then you're like, oh, let's get the release, and then
that's probably why we're not actually pushing too much to get gigs, because obviously the right gigs will probably take it. Yeah, but we just don't want to keep our expectations too high. Yeah, because I mean, we had so much stuff canceled this year that we were just heartbroken. Oh yeah, both of us. Yeah. So we don't want to be there anymore. So is it happening? Is music coming back? Cool, we're game. Yeah. Is it a little bit unstable? Yeah. So we can wait. We waited a year. We can wait.
Yeah, another month to be 3 sure.
Months, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost unbelievable to be like the fact that you're even having to say that your next tour is in like 2022. And we've had people on here, and we were talking about it as well. Like your timeline now is by the lockdowns, so you're like by the second lockdown or way back on the first lockdown, and it's just like that's fucking crazy. Unbelievable that's in our vocabulary, that we actually have to use that as a time frame now. It's just so sad. It's awful. I think
we can't wait for it to. Well, we have actually a mate of ours that was at a gig at the Blossoms gig yesterday in Liverpool. The big test gig.
Oh yeah.
And it seemed like a success, and we were just like, we're all like in our little corner going like,
no one get COVID at that gig, please. I'm begging you.
Good. And
please wash your hands.
And we'll see what the fallout is, but man, like, as we're saying, us especially, we're a touring band and it's our lifestyle, and it just got pulled from under our feet, and we're kind of like, we cannot wait to go back on tour. So that's why we kind of decided to still release a song, even though we don't have that whole, it's a whole business model really, to be able to promote your tracks on tour and talk about it and blah blah and speak to radios on tour and stuff. And
tell them,
but we were just like, screw it. Yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. Good luck to you guys. I really hope that it all fucking pans out for everyone, really, honestly.
Yeah, and we're excited to hear the releases.
Yeah.
They'll be fun. Yeah. They'll be fun, promise. Yeah.
So can you tell our audience where they can find you online and where they can buy some of your merch as well?
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy. It's Rival Karma everywhere. Okay. So like Instagram.com/rivalkarma, Facebook.com/rivalkarma, Twitter @rivalkarma, www.rivalkarma.com. So it's really, really easy. And we take all kinds of donations, so do what you got to do, guys. Bruh. We appreciate it.
It will be well received. For sure.
Yes, we have vinyls from the first EP.
Yeah, they still have some vinyls left.
We decided just to print it on vinyls, and it was something that we always wanted to do, and so we got some left, and then we got some nice t-shirts.
We got some nice
cool.
That's it for now. I think the next merch, we're working on a really cool artwork at the moment.
Yeah, we're working with an artist out of Norway.
Yeah, it's
Norwegian artist who's going to be working on doing our artwork. I mean, basically the next thing, if you guys want to really help us out in the next 2 months, when we announce the release of the track, just pre-save it.
Yeah.
Pre-save it on Spotify.
Sick.
Yeah, we hope to see you guys in person soon.
Yeah, guys.
Yay!
Bevies, tinnies.
Yeah, tennies, drinks. I will hope,
Yes.
like, honestly, I will come and play the piano that is behind you. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Juliana.
And you've been listening to Back Catalogues, and we are going to say now goodbye to Rival Karma. Thank you for coming on the show, guys. We've loved having you here chatting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you for having us.
Amazing.
Bye.
Bye.